Hey there, I just finished this miniature and I really want to show you what it's all about. It's my floating idol, or the Relic as it's titled, and it's a Adeptus Mechanicus idol that's floating around on some wasteland, and it's being dragged around by these two Adeptus Mechanicus guys here on the bottom with the big heads. I'll come back to that in a bit. And as you might recognize already, the main part of this build is the statue from the Warhammer Plus subscription model from 2 years ago, which was this really cool assassin standing inside of a broken down statue. And yeah, I really wanted to use that for one of two things. So either I would want to use that head for as the head of an Imperial Knight, which would be very cool, like an Adeptus Sororitas Knight. And the other option was to make just a statue or an idol out of it. And well, this was what came out in the end, which is neither, I guess, but it's still an idol. I mean, it's a floating idol, and it's more of an Adeptus Mechanicus idol now than an Adeptus Sororitas idol. Yeah. So what the purpose of this thing is in the universe, the 40k universe, is a bit of a mystery and a secret. But these two guys basically found it and are dragging it around, spreading the faith, maybe something like that. Yeah, so I built a lot of stuff in it, and so it's like the mechanical backside is just a lot of rummaging in the bit box. I mean, there's some legs of the dreadnought, the old boxy dreadnought in there, and there's the hip joint of an armature, and there's all kinds of things in there. You might recognize some cool stuff, and wires and tubes and pipes, of course. And actually, the idol is standing on two metal wires in here. So they go through this one, and they end up in the bottom. So that's how I fixed it. So it's actually sorry, not two wires, just one in there. It's like a really thick wire, and it's enough to keep it standing up because it's a plastic miniature. And I first thought of making cables or tubes connecting to the guy in front here, but then I thought that chains might actually be cooler. So I used these small Tamiya modeling chains and just some regular chain that I had lying around. Yeah, so these two guys. So I wrote some a little bit of a backstory. The main thing is that they are wearing. These are not their actual heads. Some people commented on that their heads are too big, and they look like chibis, which is true. But the thing is that these are not their actual heads. They're helmets. So they've both found a robot helmet. So this guy found an armature helmet somewhere, and this guy found an ambot head somewhere, and they just took it and are now wearing it as a headdress, which is pretty grimdark as far as I'm concerned. And I just thought it looked cool. I don't know, that big head is just something that I just tried it on for like more as a joke when I was building it, but I liked it so much that I just kept it on in the end. The eye that's in there, the robot eye, is also an armature faceplate, so that's something that's coming back there as well. Yeah, so this is a bit in a similar vein as the Mechanicum Torque that I made a while ago, which was like also a relic, but more like a fortune teller relic or a soothsayer relic that's also being carried around by the Adeptus Mechanicus. And I simply love that part of the Adeptus Mechanicus. So not like the mechanical part about it, but more like the mystery and the mysticism as well for it, because the whole story of the Adeptus Mechanicus is that they still have the technical knowledge, so they know they have machines and they can build them, but they have no idea what they do anymore or how they work, and everything is steeped in rituals and mantras and whatever. So that would also be what this is. right? So that this thing in the universe must have had some purpose at some point, but nobody really knows anymore what it is. And these two guys definitely don't, but they claim that they feel the purpose of the Omnissiah from it, and that it guides them. So actually, they claim that the idols is guiding them instead of the other way around. Maybe a bit like a Ouija board, something like that, right? So who's steering who is not very clear in this piece, and I imagine them just wandering around across some wasteland and some far off planet, for a purpose that they think is absolutely 100% clear, but basically it's only clear to them and not to anybody else, which is something that's I think common to the Adeptus Mechanicus. Yeah, so that's a bit of the why. So some of the other parts, this is a laser from from another Adeptus Titanicus knight, like the big one, the Porphyron or something. And there's a wing from the Dark Angels, Raven wing, and yeah, just all kinds of different mechanical bits that I found. And the painting was a lot of fun too. Yeah, so as I also discussed for the Lord of Decay, this painting style I think really suits me well. It's mainly washes and some highlights and actually some dry brushing and a bit more of the quicker methods maybe. Because like all the high quality sharp highlights and perfect blends, it's just not really my preferred style of painting. So I'm trying to keep it a little bit grim and gritty. And I think it's working pretty well. I'm very happy with the way it's looking, and also like the contrast with the hazard stripes is working really well. So I'm very pleased with how that turned out. Yeah, it was a really fun project to work on. It fits well with the other Adeptus Mechanicus I've been building in the past. So I think this is something I'm going to try in the future as well. And as you maybe have seen, I'm building some other weird stuff at the moment. So maybe my new direction is more weirdness in the grim darkness of the far future. I'm stoked for it. I hope you're interested, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.